Hello, my name is Marcus Serrano, and before we get started, I would like to let you know that the individuals that you're about to watch are going to be discussing, sharing with you some very deep and personal things that they struggle with mentally as a veteran. This is not an action film. This is not for entertainment purposes at all. I hope to bring awareness. I hope that it starts the conversation uh, of the mental health issues that we're facing, and then hopefully we can come up with a better way ahead and more long-term solution to fix the problems that we're having. Okay, so with that being said, I want to say thank you for your support and God bless you all.
That small voice that everybody claimed that you hear, it was God. God was like, why are you worried about it? He said, you said you was gonna trust me. I need you to trust me. He didn't give me the option to live or die because he said your mission is not fulfilled. There are things for you to do. I didn't understand what that meant. This was, dude, I was a tech sergeant with a line for master trying to understand what that meant because little did I know along this military career that God was gonna have me meeting people and introducing me to people that not necessarily needed help, but some of them have been into the same position of wanting to take their lives, same position of nobody cares about them, family doesn't care about them, father treating them bad, mother treating them bad, or just in general they're in a depressed mindset because the lowest of low, you're capable of doing anything. I've been there. You've been there. I've watched people, well, not watch them commit suicide, but go on scene afterwards. It's tough when you go on scene. The one that stuck with me the most, that kind of come back to memories when I thought about ending my own life, was one of the friends that I had. He was fine. All that training that they gave us from '97 all the way up to 2006 about identifying suicide awareness and stuff. None of that stuff mattered. He, the gentleman, was smiling. He was hanging out with us. He didn't give away any personal belongings. He didn't say any other keywords like "I'm sick and tired of this. I just want it to be over." Nothing like that. Depression doesn't show like what they all the training they give us. Depression doesn't show. That's what I learned. Depression doesn't show. We're looking at each other and we look like two plain individuals. I couldn't tell you what's going on inside of you, and you couldn't tell me what's going on inside of me. The only thing you'll notice is if you know who we are as individuals, character, you'll know that something ain't right and something is off. So it took me two, 2 or 3 years to get that out of my system because I contemplated 3 times. Just okay, and the thing again that God always reminded me was, you said, "For God I live, for God I die." If you live for me, then why do you want to die? We were built to not really show emotion, and once you're built and trained not to show emotion and just to be do deployments. Let's talk about that for a second. Deployments, your whole mission is to go, 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 go. There's really no downtime. 9/11 prime example. I was in Kuwait. We went from Kuwait up into Iraq, and I worked for 21 days straight, all because it was the go, go, go mentality. There was no such thing as taking a break. If you said you needed a break, they looked at you as weak. Same thing that we talked about a while ago. I was looked at as weak because I said, "Hey, I need a break." I say, "This is not normal. We we are built to deal with things in the present, but we were built to put our feelings to the back. But that's not how God built us. He built us with all these feelings and emotions to be able to get it out. But being in the military, it's been a great experience. But during those times, I felt like I was in a box. It was like a clear cube that I could see everything that's going on around me, but I couldn't make a impact. I couldn't make a change because I had someone telling me all the time, hey, you're gonna go out on the convoy this. Hey, you're gonna go kick in a door here. Hey, we don't have close air support. We're gonna do this, that, and the other. The stress of not knowing if I was gonna go or come, even though I prayed and I knew God was gonna keep me, that sent me into a state too, because one deployment, the leadership made a call without conferring with me and a couple other guys that was over there with me. We got extended to stay over in Iraq, which was the hot spot where everybody was getting beat up and getting hit. We getting bombed, we getting mortared, we getting small arms fire coming out. All that stuff, I'm not gonna lie. We said depression, anger, suicide run together, right? Anxiety does too. My anxiety, it was so much to where I would sweat without telling anybody. I would just be pouring with sweat, and it could be in the cool of night, just pouring with sweat because I was like, okay, I looked at myself as a solid dude. I don't get anxiety. I don't necessarily think that I ever harm myself. But in all reality, I was that broken person on the inside because nobody never taught me how to deal with depression. Nobody ever taught me how to deal with anger. Nobody ever taught me how to deal with the day-to-day nuances of, hey, you're human too. We always taught you're in the military, our career field, you need to suck it up, stop being so soft. Your emotions shouldn't get the best of you. You need to show military bearing. What is military bearing? So you're saying with military bearing, you can't be human?
So, like everything you've been talking about, how does that affect the family?
Well, let's just say it almost cost me my marriage. There was a time where me and my lovely wife Shay, who I've been with for 22 years, there was a time that we couldn't get along because I couldn't get past my own devices, my own anger, my own guilt, my own shame, not cheating or anything, but just the military. I got told by one chief, I'll never forget. He said, the military is your wife is secondary to the military. That bothered me so much. Me and him like literally went toe to toe. But to go back to the point, I almost lost my family because I chose a career in the military that people say quote unquote is honorable, which I agree is honorable. But to see that my wife suffered for so long because mental health awareness, nobody told me how to get help for PTSD. Nobody told me how to get help for my mental health. Nobody told me how to get help for being angry and having anger issues. So everybody seen a guy that was handling everything. Oh, he's great. Clark is doing this, Clark is doing that. But nobody once ever stopped to say, hey, even though Clark is doing this, can we check on his mental health? Can we check on his stability? How's his home life going? Because you can attest to what I'm getting ready to say right here. When we're in the missile field, our whole job was the job itself. Our families came secondary. I don't know if it put a hindrance on yours, but it put a stress on mine because basically I'm home, but it was like I was deployed because I had to let my wife handle everything. I would get home, the boys have schoolwork. I couldn't help them with schoolwork because guess what? As soon as I got home, I was doing EPRs, awards packages, getting called in, reading AFIs, trying to stay on top of all that. And it suffered from my family because only time I could be with my family was maybe one day a week. And then that one day a week, I couldn't focus because I was tired. I was trying to sleep. So that caused a rift because my family had needs too. They had emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical needs that needed to be met that I couldn't be there.
Went on deployment in 2005. He left as a Christopher Clark. He came back as, I don't know who he was. He wasn't the man that I married. He came back. He was nervous. He was always looking around, see who was after him. There's nobody after him, but he was not the same person. I'm like, you need to go get some help. I can't get help. Why can't you get help? If I get help, they're going to put me out the Air Force. Yeah, you can get help. We can do this together. I can't get help. If I get help, they told me I don't have a career no more. Yeah, you can have a career. They don't got to know you getting help. They'll find out. How can they find out if we go get help without them knowing? It's every excuse. Okay, fine. We'll figure out how we're going to get through this. Because there couldn't nothing be wrong with him. Because he's a superhero. On his good days, he was a regular person. On his bad days, I had to protect me and my kids.
What were you protecting them from?
From the monster that he had became. He did no wrong. There was nothing wrong with what he did. He was invincible. He was defending and protecting everybody but himself.
What were some of the things that? What was he doing? Oh, what was he doing and what was he not doing?
Oh, he was invincible. Nothing was gonna hurt him. Nothing was gonna stop him. He had no feelings. He had no emotions. He was just living life. And by living life, I mean he was putting on the act that everything was okay. That nothing was bothering him. Nothing was gonna change him. He was still the person that he knew himself to be. And I'm like, no, that's not you. You have feelings. You have emotions. This is not who you are. He was just living life. He was a shell of a person. We did this for 15 years. One day I'm like, oh, this is not working for me. But he pretended. He knew how to do the job. He knew how to pretend like he was normal. He was a regular person. You're deceiving no one but yourself. So I go into protective mode. I'm protecting me and my kids. Because at no cost will you hurt me or them.
Yeah.
I will hurt you before I hurt them. And I got me a cover story already, buddy.
Yeah.
You don't want to get help? You don't got to get help, but you ain't going to hurt us. So I become protected at all costs.
So did you ever talk to anybody about it?
No, I don't need that. I got a cover story. I thought there's other people around that they didn't. If they told you that, they didn't told the whole. They didn't told the whole unit that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need them. I got God. He ain't gonna let nothing happen to me. I took my marriage vows for real.
Mm-hmm.
You said you ain't want nobody else. I ain't want nobody else. It's tiring. It's taxing. But I can't let you go. You saying you done with the Air Force? So now you gotta choose.
Choose what?
You gotta choose what you're gonna do. If you divorcing the Air Force, then you picking me. Because see, the Air Force has always been your first life. I'm your mistress. So now you divorcing the Air Force, you choosing me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to leave the Air Force and go pick a new wife.